So good morning students. So today we are going to continue the topic directing. So in the last class we started the directing and we studied about what is the mean by the term directing, what are all the important features or characteristics of directing functions and importance of directing. So today we are going to continue the same chapter with the elements of directing. Okay. So see, there are four important elements in directing. The first one is supervision, motivation, communication, leadership. Okay, so these are all the four important elements in directing. The first one is supervisor. So what is the role of a supervisor? So before starting to study the role, we have to know what is the main duties, why the supervision function is carried out in the directing, why it is considered as the main element of directing. So it is means of giving the instruction to the employees, guiding the employees, monitoring the employees and observing the employees while they are performing the job in the organization. That is the main meaning. Okay, giving the instruction to the employees how to do the work. If they are the new employees, they will guide them and they will provide some of the training to learn the work. After that only they will allot the job to perform that particular duty in the organization. So after allotting the job to the employees, they will observe the employees whether they are doing the performance in the right manner or not, whether they are completing the task which is assigned to them within the particular time or not. This is the main duty of the supervisor. Okay, so next, the main important roles of supervisor is, the first one is role of mediator. What is my role of mediator? That is, he is acting as the linking pin. Linking pin means that is, he is communicating all the plans and policies or decisions or strategies of the management which is assigned by the management to achieve the organization goal. So after getting all the information from the management, he has the main duty to communicate all these policies to the subordinates. And if there is any complaints from the superior, he is also very responsible to convey that complaints to the subordinates. And if the subordinates are having any suggestions relating to the performance of the job, he should communicate the suggestions to the superior also. That is the main role of the supervisor. So it is called as the linking pin. Okay, so the next role is role of the guide. So he is acting as the guide. What is by guide? So if we are having any doubt, we will check in that guide to clear the doubts. No, so like that he is acting as the guide, that is clearing the doubt which is arises between the subordinates. Okay, the next one is, what are all the important functions of the supervisor? Important functions of supervisor. The first one is, that is, that is same point, that is, he is more responsible to issue the instructions to the subordinates, and he is acting as the intermediate between the top level, middle level and the lower level management. Okay, so all the instructions which is received from the top level management will be issued by the superior to the lower level employees. Okay, the next one is, it is especially, that is, it is giving the benefits of in the factor of the controlling factor. What is my controlling factor? So by having the proper supervision between the superior and the subordinates, if there is any problem which is created among the subordinates, so he will take certain control. He will control the activities between the employees, and he is having the more responsible to checking the what is the actual planned, what is the actual planning which is given to the employee, and what is the actual output which is given by that particular employee. So if when comparing to the actual and the planned, if there is any deviations means the reason is to be presented by the employee about the deviations to the superior. So after getting the reasons about the deviations, the differences in the output, the employee is very responsible to give the reasons for the deviations to the superior, and the superior will communicate to the top level management. Okay, the next one is maintaining the optimum utilization of the resources. That is, when the workers are constantly monitored, see, when the workers are constantly monitored and observed, so he is also very responsible to maintain the employees to use the resources and not making use of wasting the resources. So how to utilize the resources in a proper manner? It is also to be guided by the superior to the subordinates. So in order to reduce the wastages. Okay, the next one is the maintaining the discipline between the employees. So if there is the proper supervision between by the superior, it will gives the guidelines. It will provide certain guidelines to the employees to maintain the discipline among their activities. Okay, and there is definitely the strict supervision gives the main advantages of creating the proper attitudes and proper behavior among the employees. So if there is the proper behavior and attitude between the employees, there will be the proper communication between the employees, and it is very easy to complete the task within the particular time which is created by the management. Okay, so the next one is feedback. So the superiors are having the direct dealing. So if there is a proper communication and dealing with the subordinates, so what are all the best feedbacks which is received from the subordinates will be conveyed to the top level management. Okay, this is the another importance of having the proper supervision by the superior persons. The next one is it also very helpful to improve the communication gap between the superior and the subordinates. So if there is a proper communication between the superior and the subordinates, all the instruction and the orders which is received from the top level management will be clearly communicated to all the employees. So we already studied that it is called as the linking pin or the mediator. So to remove the communication gap between the superior and subordinates and receiving the complaints, and if there is any problems between the employees, so all the problems will be rectified and will create the proper smooth functioning of all the business activities between the subordinates in the organization. Okay, and next one is it also improves the motivation between the employees. That is creating the motivation level of the employees, guiding the employees and motivating to perform their work with the best capacity, that is utilizing the capacity in a proper manner and completing the work within the proper time. Okay, and it also maintains the group unity. What is the group unity? That is supervisor is playing a very important role in maintaining the group unity among the employees. Okay, that is creating the unity means that is there is no differences, so all the employees are equal and everyone is having the full freedom to work in the organization. If there is any suggestions, everyone is having the full freedom to convey that complaints or suggestions to the superior. Okay, so these are all the importance or functions of the supervisor. The next one is motivation. So second element of directing is the motivation. It is also called as will to work. So first we are going to see what is meant by the term motivation. So motivation is nothing but stimulating the employees, inspiring the employees to perform their work in their best capacity. This is the meaning of the term motivation, that is stimulating the employees, inspiring the employees to perform their work in the best capacity. So motivation is a psychological term which cannot be forced to the employees. So the superior cannot able to force the employee to complete the work. Okay, it is the willingness of the employees to work in the organization. So it is the process of making the subordinates to act in the desired manner to achieve the organizational goal. So motivation is a process which is makes the subordinates to act with the full willingness to achieve the organization goal. Okay, it is the introduction part of the motivation. So some of the interrelated terms of motivation are, the first one is motive, second one is motivation, and third one is motivators. So what is my motive? It is the inner state or desire which giving the energy to the individual to behave to achieve the organizational goal. Okay, so the motive mainly arises out of the need of an individual. So as per the need of an individual, motivation is created by the organization. So when a motive emerges in an individual, it causes a restless and he wants to fulfill his motive. So for example, if motive is to induces the individual, so it will, by creating the motivation among the employee, it will create the individual to search for the job or work within the organization. Okay, the next one is motive. It is also the process of inducing the person to perform the job with the best ability and capacity. Okay, so who is called as the motivators? Motivators are the incentives or the techniques which is used by the employees or used by the supervisors to motivate the people in the organization. So the some of the common motivators are, that is providing the increment, providing the bonus to the employees, providing the promotion to the employees, and giving the respect to the employees. So these are all the common motivators. Okay, so the next one is, what are all the characteristics or features or nature of motivation? First one is, it is a psychological phenomenon. So it is an internal feelings, which means it cannot be forced on the employees. So it is an internal feeling which is to be created by the employees itself, and it is not be created by giving the compulsion to the employees to do the work. Okay, and next one is, it produces the goal directed behavior. So motivation induces the people, that is induces the employees to behave in the proper manner to achieve their goal which is created by the organization. So for in the case of motivation, there is no need of proper supervisor to supervise the work which is done by the employees. Okay, and it can be the positive as well as the negative. So to motivate the employees, the managers use various motivators in the sense of providing the increment. If it is the positive, providing the increment, bonus, etc. If it is the negative, means that is, if the employee does not improve his performance with the positive motivators, then the manager will use the negative motivators. So first they will provide the positive motivators to the employees. If they are not able to if they are not utilizing that motivation, and if they are not performing their work in a proper manner, then the supervisor, that is the top level management or the supervisors, will use the negative motivators, that is giving the reducing the increments or stopping the increment, demotion, giving the demotion to the employees. This is called as the negative motivators. Okay, the next one is, motivation is the complex process. Motivation is the complex. It's a difficult task. So in order to motivate the people, the manager must understand what is the different needs of the employees. What is the main need of the employees to satisfy the employees in the proper manner. So the human needs are the mental feelings which can be measured accurately. So which can be easily understand by the supervisors. Okay, so if the manager measures them accurately, then also every person will uses the different approaches to satisfy his needs. Okay, some get the satisfied with the monetary intensive, some with the positive, and some with the negative motivators. Okay, so it is called as the complex process. So motivation is the complex process. And next one is, it is a dynamic and it is a continuous process. Motivation is a dynamic and also it is a continuous process. So what is by dynamic? So as per the changes in the business environment. Okay, so the managers have continuously performed the functions of the motivation in order to motivate the employees in a proper manner. So it is called as the dynamic and it is a continuous process. Okay, so next one is Maslow's need hierarchy theory. So this theory is a very important one in the motivation. So we will see in the next class. Okay, thank you students.